Hello. Today I'm going to be making a bug hotel or bug hostel because there are lots of bees and insects who like to hide away in little holes inside sticks and twigs for the winter, and also to lay their eggs and larvae in when there isn't much shelter around. So I've gathered together just things that I could find in my own garden. That's some bamboo twigs and some sticks with and without holes in the middle, and even an old clothes peg with a gap in the middle where a little insect might be able to hide. Ladybirds also love to make little nests, and solitary bees also in the winter they hibernate. So I've got a different selection of sticks and twigs, and there are lots of different ways of making bug hotels and places to look after bugs in your garden, and this is just one really simple, quick way you can make something fun with what you have. So I've just got some twigs of rosemary there and bay leaf, which I have in my garden as well. And you can put all of these in a tin can, but I'm going to try not to use a tin can because it's not biodegradable. And the other thing that I had as an option was a old egg packet. This is for another little selection of holes for bees and bugs to nest in. So I've got a different collection, and then possibly this could be the roof. The other thing that I'm going to try and do is to make this without any hammering or nails, which is why it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But here's my little makeshift egg roof, and we'll see how we get on. So that's all the material we've got, and then we'll make a start. Okay, so I've got my material here. And first what I'm going to do is stack the bamboo and sticks together as flat together as possible on one end, just so when you hold them together you can see all the edges are kind of flush with each other. And I'm just going to gather them together like that because when you fix them all, it's going to be a bit neater if they're all different lengths, if you've got them all together flush on one end. So I've gathered everything together like that, and for string I'm just using the most basic kind of materials that I could find, and this is just a ripped piece of old cloth from some bedsheet or a bit of rag that I was using, but you can use string. The cloth ties quite well because it's quite grips around the bamboo. So I'm just kind of arranging the sticks inside that, and then I'm going to tie it as tight as possible. It's quite handy to get someone else to help you do this as well. But I'm managing all right, and I'm going to turn that round, and I'm just going to do a couple of knots so that what you want to do is make sure that all the sticks and twigs are bunched together as tightly as possible so the insects can get inside the bamboo holes, but also there's space in between, but they're nice and secure so it's not too drafty. They want a nice, cosy little holes inside there. I've also got a larger piece of wood which I might use, and now I'm going to try and put it all together in my makeshift egg box roof. This particular bug hotel is best with shelter on above it, so you might want to put it in the eaves of a roof or underneath a tree already. The other thing I've got here is just a block of wood that if you do happen to have a screwdriver or someone who has a screwdriver around, you could just drill some holes into the wood, and that also makes for a nice variety for the bugs, and they can nest inside those holes. Different shaped holes work really well, but doesn't matter if you don't have those. Now I'm getting some string together because I'm going to try and tie all of this together. Again, you don't need to use the block of wood, but if you do have someone who's handy with a drill, you could ask them to make some holes for you, and that just gives a bit of variety for the bugs, and it's nice and cosy in there. And hopefully it will be a little bit waterproof. So even though this has just got cardboard as a roof, it's the quickest and easiest way, and it's quite fun just to collect as many different materials as you can. I've got some herbs and twigs as well, so you can really go crazy and find all sorts of things in your garden. Put flowers in there, different twigs and feathers. If you've got feathers to keep them warm, you've got put some feathers in there as well. But I'm just showing you the most makeshift way of doing it. Although it won't be as waterproof as if you had, say, a roof made of wood, You can tuck this underneath the shelter of a tree or in the branches of a tree, and it'll work really well for those little insects who need to lay eggs and nest away in the hole. So you want to be encouraging those insects to help look after your plants in the garden, because they eat things like aphids and greenfly, and they look after our vegetables as well. So now I'm just decorating it with some rosemary and bay leaves, and that's also going to make it smell really nice. And then I've got my bug hotel. You might want to adjust the length of some of the twigs, and you might want to just kind of adjust the different sticks that you put in there just to keep it nice and snug. But that's what it's going to look like. And then I could potentially hang it or secure it with some more string from that pink fabric I've just got tied around, just to keep it nice and tight. But the great thing about this way of doing it is that it's all about finding those nice little bits of plants and twigs in your garden. And actually putting it together is pretty straightforward, and all you need is some string and some material. So have a really fun time doing this one. And you can also decorate the outside, which I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute.